Hey, it's Matt. I'm just making another video trying to help explain my position on how I feel about the future's tokenization and financing, what's the best way to move forward, and how to keep building my wealth without having to take a breath, because I want to retire. I want to retire before I'm so old that I don't have any time left to enjoy it. And I also want to leave money. I want to leave legacy on the table. I want to be able to pass down to my kids. And I feel another thing that's very important is to also teach them how to pass legacy down to their kids. So my future bloodline is going to be the people with the money. I don't want to end up with this whole theory where the rich man's kids are rich, and then their kids are spoiled, and then their kids are dumb, and then there has to be another smart person before they make any money again. So like squander the wealth. You know, I want to build legacy. I want my kids to not have to worry for anything, for any money. My parents, my wife's parents, they're leaving money for us on the table. But I want to step this up, because the current system is once you get old and then you get sick and then you blow all your money, on medical expenses, and then you don't got jack to leave your family. So I'm trying to break that cycle, and the way I want to break that cycle is by accumulating assets, and that's going to produce income, and that I'm going to be able to pass on to my kids in the future. So plus it's kind of sad, but by the time my grandkids, my great-grandkids, they're never going to know who I was. They're never going to know anything about me. And that's just kind of the way it is. That's just the way of the world. Once you get old, man, you're smoked. So what's the best thing that I can do? And that's to leave the legacy behind and make those people have a great life in the future. Because, I don't know, once I'm gone, that's my dream anyways. So I really want to be able to grow my wealth to the point where it just becomes a beast and it's just growing itself, and I don't have to work anymore, because I don't really want to work. I'm not that excited about getting up every morning and earning a buck for my boss while I get some pennies. That's kind of the way. I know it's a negative way to look at things, but it's also true. So, because I'm getting pennies on the dollar compared to what I'm earning for my boss. Besides all that, I feel like for the long term, if what the talking heads say is true, and I've been drinking the Kool-Aid, and that's that I'm set for long term. If Bitcoin performs the way it does, and if it's already won, like they're saying it's already won, then there's nothing left else to do except for to live now. But right now, my situation is my parents, well, not my parents, my kids, they costed me a lot of money, so I need more money now. So now I'm focused on income generating assets. And I need to have growth assets. So I'm like at a crossroads now. I don't know what to do. So basically, I am focusing on reducing my cost of living, focusing on increasing my income coming in from my job, and then focusing on buying as much assets as possible so I'm going to be able to make money, especially if this market crashes, and then also saving money too, because I want to have that cash on the side for when it all crashes and I got that blood in the streets. I'm going to go sweeping it up, dumping it in my basket. That's what I want anyways. So, and the news to me for Bitcoin looks super positive because we got countries buying the stuff, we got rich people all over, big huge corporations buying it, rich people are buying it, and I'm trying to train my brain to not care about what's the cost day to day, because I find myself thinking about it way too much. I need to focus on just how can I get more of it, and when should I buy it, and when it's cheaper. So that means I gotta have money on the side. I got some bills that I want to focus on paying, and that's it. And to not convince, but just to let people know that if they think this is the right option, and they got to do research, that if this is the right option for them, to go for it. Because you got to pick something. At the end of the day, you have to have something to believe in and something to move forward for. And for a long time in my life, I was just lost. I didn't know what to do. In fact, the last 5 years, I didn't know what direction I was going at all. Now, at least, I cut like 360 degrees. Now I'm cut down to like 90 degrees. So that's where I'm at. And this is probably sounds like a bunch of nonsense. But so in the news that I'm listening to, I hear them saying that the people are all saying Bitcoin's going to blow up. And I heard one guy saying that I really like, and he's made a bunch of money investing in Bitcoin, and he's been doing it since 2015. So for reference, it's 2026. So he's like in it for 11 years. And if I had gotten in when I should have in 2015, I probably would have blown it all and not gotten ahead. So maybe it's just a blessing in disguise that I had to be more mature and have a better understanding when I got in. When it was 2021, when I got in, I would have been way better off if I got in at 2020. But I mean, that's neither here nor there now. And it's gone up a good amount since I got in. And I got to focus on buying when it's low, because I missed the best. I could have bought a lot more when it was the best opportunity. But I tell you what, until then I was hurting for money real bad. And if I had made the wrong mistake, if I took the wrong step at that time, I could have been destroyed, financially destroyed. But now, looking back in hindsight, if I would have bought then when I knew I should have, when my logic was telling me that I should have, then I'd have been a lot further ahead than I am now. I would have been way closer to that Charlie Munger $100,000, because that's what I'm focused on right now is Charlie Munger says get to $100,000. So that's where my focus is. So the nice thing is, a lot of people, I'm not super rich. I'm not bleeding money. I still got to be very careful with what I got. So I just keep looking for deals. I keep investing in what I believe in. And I believe in Bitcoin, so I'm going to keep going down that road. Now, I really would like to start buying MicroStrategy, or just strategy, MSTR, but it's expensive for me. Much more affordable is ASST, Strive. So I'm buying that, and I'm going to buy it to a certain set amount, and I'm going to stop buying that, and then I'm going to start buying something else. That's my goal, because I don't want to just be all in on one thing. But I have focused in on one industry, because I do feel like they're right about diversification. It's a bunch of crap, and I'm understanding, but just I haven't. And then of course, I'm watching real estate, because when the real estate market goes down, I'm gonna buy in, and if that's not, and if it's so I want to get to a position where I'm gonna be able to do the rule of 5. So this dude, minority mindset guy, Jaspreet Singh, he's like, the rule of 5 is you can't afford 5, then you can't afford 1. So I'm gonna get to that rule of 5, and then when the real estate market takes a tumble, then I'm buying in. Or if it doesn't, then it's on me to keep earning money so I can afford one of those 5s at the higher cost. But I always got to keep remembering these key things, and that's one thing, is that cost of real estate doesn't keep going up. The value of the dollar keeps going down. When I first started buying Bitcoin, it was 6 Bitcoin for the cost of my house. Now it's more like 2.5, 3 Bitcoin for the cost of my house. So the value of Bitcoin is going up. The cost of the money for the dollar value, the reason why that the real estate's not really changing in value, it's the cost of the dollar that's going down. So just keep that in mind. You got to change your perspective to look at, like, what's the value of gold versus the value of real estate? What's the value of Bitcoin versus the value of the dollar? So when I look at that chart, and I still got to wrap my head around this stuff, it's not super easy for me to think like this, because my brain's stuck in fiat. But what I want to say is, look at the value of real estate in Bitcoin. What's happening? The value of the Bitcoin is still going up. The value of real estate, it doesn't move the same way that the value of the dollar does. That's all I got to say now. Okay, I hope this is something of value. If you think this is of value, click the like button. I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.